Playing video games has given me some bad gamer habits, and it's kept me from enjoying certain titles. Death Stranding and Persona 5 were two games I tried to love but couldn't enjoy. One thought experiment not only turned me around on these games, but helped me enjoy a broader range of art across all mediums.
Well, you certainly caught me with my pants down.
Here's a quick breakdown of who I am as a gamer. 1. I'm a run and gun player. I like fast-paced, hummingbird controls. No cover necessary, I'm taking the fight straight to your dumb face. From Doom to Elden Ring, I love turning coal into diamonds. 2nd, with open world games, I'm a planner with a laundry list of things to do. Cargo to sell, missions to grind, bases to build. Whether it's GTA Online, No Man's Sky, or The Witcher, my playthroughs are 1 part planning, 2 parts checking off a big list. 3rd, and a lot of gamers do this, I often try to bend the mechanics of a game to my own personal will. Can a truck make it up this giant mountain? No, says the girlfriend watching me struggle for 30 minutes. You must go around. Nay, nay, things are impossible until they're done. Or if dinner is ready in 10 minutes. These habits, ingrained over many years, negatively impacted my initial playthroughs of Death Stranding and Persona 5. I had a genuine desire to play these games. Each had intriguing concepts and were different from anything I'd played before. But being the Twitch combat, list-making, break-the-mold gamer I was, made playing these beloved games one big frustrating chore. In Death Stranding, I wanted to rush down a mountain to deliver a package, but was annoyed at how easily Sam would fall over. With Persona 5, I loved the idea of exploring Tokyo with a group of friends, but hated being limited to 2 activities per day. Trying to force my will in both cases made the experiences worse. Normally, I would have pushed these games aside to play something closer to my playstyle like Ghost of Tsushima or Starfield. But like an adorable kitten begging for food, there was something about Death Stranding and Persona 5 that was tough to ignore. For months I would start and restart both games, trying to have the same experience that millions of fans had before me. One day, I tried a thought experiment, one that's fitting for the hypercritical way we consume content in the modern era. Accept art for what it is, not what you want it to be. The way we critique art is too demanding. In many cases, there's no way for any form of media to live up to our expectations. Whether it's a highly anticipated game, movie, comic, or TV show, we sit down with our own rubric of what a piece of art needs to have. If a character is not written in the ideal way, points off. Not funny, points off. Too funny, believe it or not, also points off. We have a tendency to critique things into a no-win scenario, instantly judging what's not there instead of engaging with what is. Death Stranding is a grounded take on traversal. It's an intentionally slow-paced game. The decisions you make in Persona 5 each day should be chosen carefully to maximize your character and build important relationships. These aren't bad concepts for video games. They just need to be played their way in order to enjoy them. Writing off art we don't attempt to engage with is common in these scenarios, and is something I was guilty of in playing these games. My initial reactions were to view these games as mistakes, something way too niche and not art made to be the best version of itself. I too called Death Stranding a walking simulator, saw Persona 5 as a pseudo-open world that stifled player choice at every turn, but neither of these things were true. Once I set aside my preferred gaming habits and played these games as they were intended, I began to enjoy them more, like a lot more. Suddenly, I loved plotting my way down a mountain in Death Stranding after carefully considering how to balance the cargo on my back. In Persona 5, I became meticulous in choosing which activities and which confidants to hang out with to effectively defeat each boss. Both games went from being written off completely to something I'm now genuinely a fan of. Accepting art for what it is doesn't mean ignoring criticism. It's setting aside your biases to critique art on its merits first. Engaging art with a predetermined list of expectations sets us up for disappointment. Being open to art is a more objective approach. Death Stranding is robust as a traversal game. However, the dialogue is extraneous and the story's allegory is not subtle. Persona 5 is a seamless blend of turn-based combat and a social simulator, but it overwhelms new players with endless mechanics. These games aren't perfect, but removing the biases that made me judge these games helped me see the genius behind their ideas. If what you're critiquing is part of the inherent vision set by the creators, you're asking for art to be your version and not their version. Critiquing the execution of ideas is fair, because you're questioning if the creators could have achieved their vision more effectively. Accepting art for what it is easier said. We like what we like, and we can't always force ourselves to enjoy something we don't. Like Death Stranding and Persona 5, it's been the key to unlocking other pieces of content that I'd previously given up on. There are other forms of entertainment that don't adhere to my tastes, but focusing on what each does right makes it enjoyable. I can critique another creator's vision based on the rules they've established. My analysis adheres to their standards, not mine. In the era of hot takes, being too rigid in our critiques works to our own detriment. We write off good art without understanding it. Accepting art for what it is, and not what we want it to be, broadens the type of art we can consume and allows us to view it more objectively.